Good morning, and welcome to Charles Travels, the podcast where we explore the most fascinating stories from around the world. I'm your host, Charles, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today. As we journey through the globe, we often come across innovative ideas that are changing the way we live, work, and interact with our environment. Today's story is one such example. Imagine a mine that doesn't require blasting holes in the ground or destroying ecosystems. Instead, it uses plants to extract a critical mineral from the soil. Sounds like science fiction, but it's a reality thanks to a biotech startup called Genomines. Located in South Africa, Genomines is pioneering a new approach to mining called phytomining. They're using a type of daisy that's a hyperaccumulator, meaning it can absorb and store high concentrations of metal in its stems and leaves. By gene editing, they've made the plant 3 times larger and able to soak up twice as much nickel. The result is a sustainable and affordable supply of this critical metal, which is essential for batteries, electric vehicles, and stainless steel. As I delved deeper into this story, I was struck by the potential of phytomining to revolutionize the mining industry. Traditional mining methods are not only environmentally damaging, but also energy-intensive and costly. Genomines' approach, on the other hand, is carbon neutral, requires minimal infrastructure, and can produce nickel oxide at a significantly lower cost. The company's pilot site in South Africa is a testament to the power of innovation. The land they're using is relatively high in nickel, but it's not suitable for farming due to the low concentration of other nutrients. However, it's perfect for phytomining. The plants grow within 4 to 6 months, absorbing the metal, and then can be harvested, dried, and heated to produce battery-grade nickel oxide. As we explore this story further, we'll learn more about the potential of phytomining to meet the world's growing demand for critical minerals. With an estimated 30 million to 40 million hectares of land worldwide containing sufficient nickel for this process, the possibilities are vast. We'll be right back with more fascinating travel adventures on Charles Travels. Welcome back to Charles Travels, dear listeners. As we continue our journey through the stories that shape our world, I'd like to take you to the stunning, wild coast of South Africa, where a David and Goliath battle is unfolding between coastal communities and the multinational oil giant Shell. In this picturesque region, where the Indian Ocean meets the shores of the Eastern Cape Province, the traditional home of the Mpondo people has been a hub of vibrant culture and spiritual practices for centuries. The ocean has long been the lifeblood of these communities, providing not only sustenance, but also a deep sense of connection to their heritage. However, in 2014, the South African Minister of Mineral Resources granted permission for seismic surveys to be conducted off the wild coast, sparking concerns among local residents and environmental groups about the potential disruption to marine ecosystems and the community's way of life. Shell later acquired a significant stake in the exploration permit, further escalating tensions. As we delve into this story, I'm reminded of the wise words of a small-town fisherman I met on my travels. The ocean is not just a resource, it's our identity. For the people of the wild coast, the prospect of offshore drilling and exploration is not just an environmental issue, but also a deeply personal one. The case has been winding its way through the courts for years, with communities, NGOs, and Shell presenting their arguments. At the heart of the matter is the question of whether proper public consultation took place during the renewal process of the existing exploration right. As community leader Sinagugu Zukulu so eloquently put it, we want them to have an environmental authorization which requires that they engage with us before they've started. We want them to follow the law. That was the main bone of contention which was being argued. As I reflect on this story, I'm struck by the courage and resilience of the wild coast communities who are fighting to protect not only their environment but also their cultural heritage. It's a powerful reminder of the importance of procedural fairness and the need for meaningful consultation with Indigenous peoples. The Constitutional Court's decision is expected before the end of the year, and its outcome will have far-reaching implications for the future of the wild coast and beyond. If the community's challenge is successful, Shell will be required to reapply for exploration rights, following a proper consultation process that takes into account the concerns and aspirations of the local people. As we pause to consider the significance of this story, I'm reminded of the beauty of everyday life in small towns like those found along the wild coast. The dignity of ordinary work, the importance of tradition, and the value of taking the back roads. All these themes are woven into the fabric of this narrative. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Charles Travels. We'll be exploring more tales from the heart of America, where the intersection of people and place continues to inspire and captivate us. Welcome back to Charles Travels. We've had an exciting journey so far, exploring new destinations and delving into fascinating stories. As we wrap up today's episode, I'd like to take you to the breathtaking landscapes of Alaska, where a contentious debate is unfolding. You see, listeners, the state of Alaska is home to some of the most pristine and untouched wilderness areas in the world. However, this natural beauty is under threat from extractive industries, which are pushing to exploit these resources for financial gain. At the heart of this controversy is the Central Yukon Plan, a comprehensive management strategy that aims to balance conservation with responsible development. Now, you might be wondering what's at stake here. The answer lies in the vast expanse of federal lands that cover much of Alaska. These lands are not just empty wilderness, they're home to vibrant ecosystems, indigenous communities, and a delicate balance of wildlife and vegetation. The Central Yukon Plan is designed to protect these resources, while also allowing for sustainable use by local residents and businesses. However, some lawmakers are seeking to repeal this plan using the Congressional Review Act, or CRA. This move has sparked widespread concern among conservationists, Native American tribes, and even some industries that rely on these federal lands. The CRA, initially intended to provide a check on executive power, is being used in a way that could have far-reaching and unintended consequences. Imagine a scenario where hundreds of resource management plans are thrown into uncertainty, leaving oil and gas companies, farmers, and timber operators wondering what the future holds. This is not just a local issue, it has national implications, potentially paralyzing public land management across the United States. As we explore this complex story, we're reminded that travel is not just about visiting new places, it's also about understanding the people and cultures that shape these destinations. The indigenous communities of Alaska have a deep connection to the land, and their voices must be heard in this debate. So, what can we do? We can start by staying informed and engaged on issues like this. We can support organizations that work tirelessly to protect our natural heritage. And, as travelers, we can make conscious choices about how we explore and interact with these incredible landscapes. That's all for today's Charles Travels. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, keep on traveling.